a boat of wanderers arrive at an island where the gods have their garden. So they land in the Garden of Eden, but there are rules for entry and there are rules for behavior when in there. So it's learning new things, learning a new way of being, learning to interact with nature from a spiritual vantage point. Hello, hello, welcome back as we continue deep diving into insights, truth, symbols, and symbolism, the psychology, storylines, and the complementary gemstones of astrology as seen through the individual Sabian degrees. There are 360 of them. We're taking a look at 2 each day. Today we're on Sagittarius Gemini 23. I thank you so very much for being here, and without further ado, let's begin with Gemini today. 3 fledglings in a nest high up in a tree. A man attuning to the vibrations of a myriad of different flowers. After having read a poem many times, a man finally sees the deeper meaning in it. A tunnel created by trees. A faint pink flame flickering at the top of an ancient oak tree. The stone here is green quartz, so it's quartz that has some nickel in it, but it's specifically green quartz. It speaks to the heart chakra. It eases digestive issues like nausea. It boosts our immunity. It offers deep whole body cleansing. It gives us peace and understanding in relationship. It turns negative energy into positive energy. It gives us patience and grace when dealing with stressful situations. It also promotes and encourages financial success, healing, and recovery after illness or surgery. So we're looking at fragile new beginnings. We're looking at tunnels and journeys, and it's like a gateway into the new. The 3 fledglings in a nest high up in a tree. So they're relatively protected because they're in the nest, but there are 3 of them. 3 is a number of wholeness and completion. They're in one way a representation of spiritual consciousness, the beginnings of. So it's fragile at this point. This Trinity is described as the Divine Trinity. Embracing absolute truth aids our consciousness and gives us eternal internal bliss. The idea that we are eternal, that we are always whole. So that is the beginning stage that we're looking at here. Superior ecstasy from within. I looked up Sat Chit Ananda. That's a term that was used here, and it literally means truth, consciousness, bliss, but we're looking at absolute truth. We're looking at superior ecstasy from within, a combining of all that we are, that we're more than the existence that we see in this physical world. There's richer, deeper truths that come only from within. Growing spirituality is happening here. It's where we embrace the fact that we are more than like me. I'm female on the outside, but there's also a male aspect to me. And when I embrace both, have both sides easily communicating with the other, then the forces of nature kick in, the trees, nature, God, kicks in and aids to boost that understanding. So when we're ready for it, nature and God and the forces from within help us. There's also an embracing of new experiences and being open to the subtle realm. Even if you're a little scared of it, there's a need to experience things. Again, maintaining your integrity, like faking it till you make it, imagination and experience of the new while maintaining integrity. So these are fragile first steps of a baby. That's one way to look at this. Allowing vulnerable experience of the subtle realms not to scare us, and to understand what we need to stay away from or what we need to repel and what helps us, and then we go towards that which gives us power. There could be some sibling rivalry here. There could be an issue with feeling like there's not enough space, but we're meant to embrace the fact that internally, it's always bigger on the inside, like Doctor Who. The box is bigger on the inside. Let's take a look at Sagittarius. A group of immigrants fulfilling the requirements for entering a new country. Another way to say that, a boat of wanderers arrives at an island where the gods have their garden. A woman wearing many tiny bells, strange tools no one knows how to use, and a stream of butterflies moving north. Blue Chalcedony is the stone for Sagittarius. It is a nurturing stone. It absorbs negativity. It stimulates benevolence and generosity. It enhances mental flexibility. It boosts our listening and communication skills. It enhances our self-perception, our self-confidence. It improves the memory. It aids in telepathy. It is sometimes called the speaker's stone. It helps us measure our words so we say what we really want to say and we avoid saying what doesn't need to be said. So bells and butterflies, strange tools, newness and more newness. So again, we are meant to continue imitating our way through new experiences and maintaining our inner integrity through transition. This is a transition point. So we're looking at crossing over thresholds where somebody graduates from college and now they feel like, they're brand new again. So there's a feeling of crossing a threshold but feeling vulnerable with both Sagittarius and Gemini 23. On Gemini, we had 3 fledglings. Here we have a group of immigrants. So newness, entering a new country, a new way of being. Tiny bells, little bells, instead of a brash ringtone, these are tinkly, tiny bells that quietly wake people up. So a softness with the noise would be helpful here today. Bells helping to wake people up, their meridians and the subtle body help loosen and align through a light touch, i.e. tiny bells. Using tools that you really don't know what they are, so you use them in new ways and you create a whole new way of being in doing so. Take in the new in a way that is as empowering as possible. So the need to imitate, that you're not, don't be afraid. If you are afraid, say I'm courageous. Pretend until you are. Embrace new experiences, no matter how shocking they are. There may be some shocking things here. I think that's a possibility here. Because when it's fledglings are new, everything seems shocking. So it's seeing things with new eyes. It is experiencing with a sense of wonderment, not fear and loathing and, clinging on to the old. Because the understanding that I have here is that the threshold is upon us and our attitude is the make or break. So we have the choice. We always have the choice. But here, that's the guidance. Being awake to subtleties. So if you smell, and I think a sense of smell is strong here. There's a backstory of a woman smelling pepper and sneezing. So there's an ability to pick up on things that are not good for us and not to be fearful of those. Just sneeze and, get the energy out so that we know what not to use. But in another sense, pepper spray is helpful when you need to repel someone. So it's taking a look at subtle energies in a different way with brand new eyes and not being afraid of it. A transcendence into a spiritual realm, psychic realm, I think might be as apt here. Trying to take filters off, like don't have preconceived ideas about how something is going to be, because there's newness here and we can learn from it. So a crossing of borders, having papers that you qualify, graduating, getting a certificate, throwing away what you already knew and embracing the new. Transformation that is happening from the top down, meaning from our highest divine consciousness, and it creates a newness of experience. So the mundane becomes magical. The mundane becomes spiritual. New beginnings. The necessity to learn new things in order to fit in while maintaining integrity. A boat of wanderers arrive at an island where the gods have their garden. So they land in the Garden of Eden, but there are rules for entry and there are rules for behavior when in there. So it's learning new things, learning a new way of being, learning to interact with nature from a spiritual vantage point. So that's what I have for you today. I thank you very much if you made it this far. Give me a like if you're enjoying this. Subscribe for more. Leave me a comment if you had a dream about any of these images. If they speak to you and they're telling you something different, I would love the insight. Everybody can learn from it. And until next time, take care.